This is MSNBC Live, July 11th, 2020.
Non-resident international students. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Ted Lieu of California. He sits on the Foreign Affairs and Judiciary Committees. His district includes the coastal cities west of Los Angeles and Long Beach. Congressman, good evening.
Thank you, Joshua.
Regarding the Trump administration's new visa guidance, what, if anything, can UC or Cal State do about it?
We see a pattern where when Donald Trump is down at the polls, he'll take an anti-immigration action. In this case, they're going after international students, which is really quite ridiculous because international students benefit America. In fact, the State Department's own website says that the U.S. welcomes international students, and they provide a valuable contribution to our colleges and universities. We know that international students also contribute to the economy, and to deport them because their college is trying to protect their health and safety with online courses is really a ridiculous proposal. I hope the Trump administration withdraws it.
It's also worth noting that international students have been a boon to California's public universities in recent years by paying full freight. It makes it easier for those university systems to devote more resources towards scholarships and grants so that in-state students can attend. But if this remains the policy from the federal government, it sounds like UC and Cal State just have to kind of take it.
Well, what would end up happening, I suspect, is what USC recently did. They opened all their physical classes to international students to take for free. So they simply go into one classroom, then they can stay. So it's basically going to force the UCs and UCLA I think to do something similar, which then increases the risk of the spread of COVID-19. So it's really just a dumb proposal by the Trump administration. I don't really understand what the rationale is. I know that UCLA has over 7,000 international students in my district. It would be devastating for them if they all had to leave the country.
Looking at California more broadly, how did this COVID-19 surge happen? Governor Newsom took this seriously from the beginning. Many cities were cautious about reopening. What went wrong?
So Governor Newsom has done a great job. And at the beginning, we were very effective in suppressing the virus. And then California, like all the other states, started to reopen. And when you reopen, you're simply going to get more COVID-19 cases. California has nearly 40 million people. And because of the number of people, that also increases the number of cases that we have. So now we just have to make sure that people wash their hands frequently, wear a mask in public, do social distancing, and we need to start getting this virus back under control.
California has a significant Asian and Asian American population. Students of Asian descent are the largest racial group at most of the UC campuses, sometimes by far. You are Taiwanese American. Your family immigrated here when you were 3. How does this aspect of California's diversity shape the way that it fights COVID-19?
California has been one of the leaders in this fight. We have attracted the best and brightest in the world in terms of scientists and doctors to try to find a cure for COVID-19. And at the same time, we've been very strong in pushing back against hate incidents. We know that across America, there's been over 1,900 Asian American hate incidents. We have people who, for example, stabbed a family in Texas who were Asian American because they thought they were spreading COVID-19. So we need to make sure we fight back and teach everyone that this virus knows no race or geography or party registration or ethnicity. Everyone is at risk.
There are so many nuances to the Asian and Asian American populations in California. A conversation for another day to dig deeper into that. But there's one more thing we wanted to ask you about before you go. You are among the Democrats in the House Judiciary Committee who introduced an item last week. It would penalize people who defy a subpoena for testimony or for documents. Do we need this new law, or is this a problem that's maybe more specific to the Trump administration?
We actually need to make this bill become law. It would actually be a rules change to the House of Representatives. So we could simply do this in the House. We don't need Senate concurrence. The House of Representatives has always had the power of inherent contempt. The Supreme Court has upheld that power. It allows us to impose monetary fines on individuals who do not follow congressional subpoenas. My legislation, introduced with others, would go ahead and cause the rules change to allow us to execute this inherent contempt power and fine witnesses up to $100,000 if they don't comply with congressional subpoenas.
California Congressman Ted Lieu. Congressman, stay safe, and thanks for making time for us.
Thank you, Joshua.
Just in, the White House responds.